Welcome back to Full Time here on AFTV. I'm here with Laurie. Liverpool have beaten Arsenal 2-0 at the Emirates. A frustrating second half after the good work of the first half, though. Were there positives in defeat? I think that's what we want to really get into. Of course, send in your videos. The number is right here below. Oh, I've gone way off screen. There we go. It's right there. Send in your video, send in your reaction, and we're going to spend a lot of time just hearing what you guys have to say, letting you get it off your chest, have your say, vent your frustration. But I think there are things to like. Laurie, what's your kind of instant reaction to that?
My initial thoughts are I'm disappointed, but I'm not deflated. This is the game that I was calling the form derby going into this game. The two teams in the league in the best form. And I think Liverpool showed tonight why they are currently on form, the best team in the country, one of the best teams in Europe. There's no shame in losing tonight, although I was disappointed in the manner of the goals. I mean, the obvious one, the first one, Ramsdale should have done better. But hey, I'm not going to chastise Ramsdale too much for that because he's been brilliant this season. And then the second one, I was a little disappointed because Firmino found himself in a position where there was three Arsenal defenders around him, and yet he still found space and time to slot it in. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. And I was also disappointed, I have to be honest and say that once Liverpool went a goal up, I mean, I know they scored the second one in fairly close proximity to the first one. It did look a long way back for us because although we had a lot of the ball and we looked promising at times, we looked, I wouldn't like to say the word toothless, but I didn't see much in the way of us really threatening to get a goal. Am I being a little bit
No, I
unfair
think
there?
the fear is that if a team goes one up against Arsenal, Arsenal don't really have many more gears to go through.
I kind of
Liverpool, I was watching, I said it in my fan cam coming out soon, I said to Cecil, whilst the first half seemed quite even, I felt Arsenal were really giving as good as they got, really. And Liverpool, you just thought, they're not quite at their best, are they? Here? And actually weren't really on. Now that could well be because Arsenal nullified them and played well. I think.
The first half was encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you look at the stats of the game, I think like the shots.
We've got here 9 shots all.
Yeah,
they had 1 extra shot on target.
Exactly. So,
1 big chance created each. Not a lot in passes. So, it was a pretty.
So that would seem to indicate a fairly even game. Although I would say, if I'm being honest, and I do like to be honest with my assessments, Liverpool did strike me as the more threatening of the two teams. They always did. And I know me and you disagreed about this slightly, but. Listen, Martinelli had a hell of a game tonight. Yeah,
he did, yeah.
But if I am going to be hypercritical of him, and I know you've got your thoughts on this, I know you're going to come back at me in the nicest way possible.
Absolutely.
But is it me, but does he need to cross the ball a bit more? Because I think what was happening was, whilst he was doing great in beating Trent, what I would like to see him do, as soon as you beat him, put that ball in the box.
Well, yeah, I mean...
I know you've got a theory on that, so tell the people
this is the debate we were having. Now, my theory on it is Martinelli was doing so well to have the beating of Trent on quite a few occasions that when he gets to the byline, he is trying to pick people out. I think we've seen Arsenal... Over the 2 and a bit years under Arteta, we have seen us try to put it into the box, but they deal with it. Lacazette's never really been a threat with his head, nor is Saka particularly, flying at the back post. So I just felt we'd have probably, I think if he did that, I think we'd have found us going, oh, stop putting it in the box. It's one of those, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I know what you mean, ask a different question of Liverpool, but I felt actually he had the beating of Trent and was trying to find the cutbacks and they weren't quite there. We'll go half by half. We'll take your super chats. We'll obviously take your videos as well. I'm begging for Wi-Fi. Says I can hear the Champions League music at the Emirates next season. So maybe, listen, people are still feeling like our course, our sort of trajectory for Champions League football hasn't been knocked too much.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I said to you after you did your fan cam there, I said that losing this game does not in any way, I think, affect our ability to get the top 4 place, because tonight we were up against an excellent team. We were in a great run of form. So, for morale's sake, we didn't want to get tonked.
Yeah,
and we definitely didn't get tonked.
No.
We would like to have got a draw, best place scenario. We'd like to have got a win. We didn't get either of those. But we didn't get hammered, and we live to fight another day. Absolutely. I will be far more disappointed if we don't get a result against Villa.
Yeah.
I guess losing tonight puts a little bit more pressure for us on that Villa game, especially as we're going away to a decent team who will be up for it. But it's a game that we can win. So, you know,
Let's hope.
I'm not especially deflated tonight, although I am naturally disappointed.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we will get your thoughts and look ahead to the Villa game towards the end of this show. But let's hear what you guys say about this game now.
What's going on, AFTV? I've just finished watching the game over in Gran Canaria. James here from One Way Football. And what can I say? The boys did put in a good effort in the first half. Just wasn't enough. And it goes to show as well that if Klopp needs to bring on his top reinforcements for this game, it goes to show never judge a book by its cover, because he doubted Arsenal. So he didn't put his top players out. Let's put it like that. Let's put it like that. You know, we got to keep our heads up high now. We're not at their level, but we are. The process is there. In the next couple of seasons, yes, we can be fighting against Liverpool and Man City, but at the moment, it's not that time. So let's keep our heads up. Like I said, go out on Saturday, beat Aston Villa, and let's just look at the top four, like the fourth position. I can't see us getting third now. That was our game in hand, and it would have been nice to win that game. Can a quick little one? Lacazette was off form today. He was off form. So in the summertime, we need two strikers. We do. Nketiah is not good enough. But Saturday, let's do it. Let's go in there, heads high, and well done, Arsenal. You did us proud today, and the fans as well.
Emerson here from London, Ontario, Canada. Just finished the Liverpool-Arsenal match, 2-0. What can I say? If that team is not begging for a clinical striker, I don't know what game you were watching. We should have won, or should have been ahead clearly by 3-0 before they scored one. This January transfer business is biting us in the ass right now. Yeah, I'd like to see what Vlahovic would have done in this team. Sadly, nobody remembers the performance, but only remembers the scoreline. But we deserve so much more from that game. Man of the match, definitely not Tierney, Martinelli, giving Alexander-Arnold all kinds of trouble. Hopefully we don't let this performance get to our heads, and pick your heads up, boys, and we'll be back.
Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, the team lost today. You know, we put up a fight in the first half. Well, I believe the team were probably by the first half, they were a little bit exhausted with the amount of energy they put in the first half. I think we kind of lacked focus a little bit. You could see the balls coming over the top. You know, that should have been a warning for our players. You know, unfortunately, the first goal came in. Ramsdale was beaten by the red post. You know, at some point in time, you know, we're humans and we all make mistakes. But we move to the next match against Aston Villa. Hopefully we bounce back, you know, and keep chasing for the top four. Come on, you Gunners. Don't relent. And special shout out to AFTV. This is Theo from Georgia, USA.
Tough defeat, man. I felt like we dominated the game, especially in the first half. We were putting the pressure on. 2 goals we pretty much handed to them. Ramsdale should have saved the first one, and Saka couldn't clear the second for the second goal. And Odegaard, I felt like he could have done better with the chance he got. Martinelli had a chance in the second half as well, but ultimately I feel we dominated, and we didn't get outplayed like we usually do. We kind of held our own until we made those mistakes. But next week, man, we got to start winning again. We got to get back to winning again, man. We got to get tough for it. It's the best chance we got.
Hey, what's up AFTV? Ryan from London here. Obviously a really disappointing result tonight. I felt we gave away 2 really sloppy goals, especially the first one. Ramsdale could have had a stronger hand to it, but I think overall still a decent performance. I think it was a significant improvement from the reverse fixture. The fans were more confident. Back then we said Liverpool was a free hit. Now we think Arsenal can go for a draw. And I think the team played with confidence as well, especially in the first half. I really like those passes around the tight areas. Showed Liverpool that we brought the game to them. Yeah, I was really unfortunate with those 2 goals, and eventually Liverpool coasted the victory. I think what's really important is that we don't necessarily give up from here. I think the next game against Aston Villa is really important. We need to consolidate our position, get going again, and push for top 4, because I believe we can do it. Come on, Gunners!
Yeah, and look, words of support for the team. I think a lot of people are feeling like we gave a good account of ourselves, but they just pack a bigger punch. And I'm scrolling through Twitter as well, so I can look out for any Arteta comments or just the general reaction of fans. Someone makes the point, when the game's not going great for Liverpool and they bring on Salah and Firmino for Jota and Diaz, I mean, nothing probably paints a better picture of quite what we're up against tonight.
Exactly. And it's interesting with Jota, because just prior to him getting taken off, I was saying, and a few of the guys up there was concurring with me, that Jota wasn't having a particularly good game.
You know what? And he wasn't. I thought him, Mane and Diaz, by their standards, were poor.
Were pretty ineffectual, yeah.
But they scored.
Well, I mean, well, listen, I'm trying not to be too downcast, because like I said, you've got to take into account the level of the opposition we're up against tonight. And it's not like they came there and could afford to, not turn up. They needed to win tonight, and to be fair to them, they got the win.
You see they're over the moon when they got the goals.
Exactly, because they've narrowed the championship race now to 1 point.
Evan with super chat says, Ramsdale and Saka lost us that game, no argument. I mean, they made mistakes,
I think that's a bit unfair.
But I agree. I think that's harsh. I think it's not their fault that more wasn't made of the openings we did create, the spaces we got into. We talked about those Martinelli cutbacks. Touch of Awesome says Klopp is saying Trent defended well against Martinelli. And then he's put a laughing emoji. Listen, Martinelli's a handful.
Yes.
And towards the end of the game did start. Anyway, good game. Very disappointed.
But you made a good point when you said, although Trent came off worse in some of those 1-to-1 head-to-heads he had with Martinelli, even so, his distribution otherwise was very, very
Passing's
good.
Phenomenal.
So that was
Trent Alexander-Arnold had a good game today. He had a good game today, and yes, Martinelli had him really working hard.
Yeah.
It's not what he's in the team to do. He's there to be a creator, and he found those balls over the top on quite a few occasions. JD with super chat says we have faced Liverpool 4 times this season, 3 defeats, 1 draw, no goals scored in a fixture. First time we are goalless. Scoreless since between 1997 and 1999. Look, that's the only sour bit for me, is that in 4 games, really, we couldn't even score a goal. I've seen Brighton score 2 at Anfield. I've seen Tottenham score 2. I've seen teams at least sort of...
But what does that tell you about us?
You use the word toothless, and I think maybe against the very, very best.
We've still got issues up front.
I think, and I've been saying this for a long time, before Arsenal went in this run of form, we're actually a very good side in the first third and the middle third. And it's the final third that we're lacking what the very best have.
Right. And what wins matches?
Decisiveness and being clinical and having that quality. Let's talk about the first goal. It's a lovely ball from Thiago. People were on Cedric. People were getting on Cedric's back. But I mentioned something at half-time. Tactically, Cedric was getting forward a lot more on the press to try and go on to Robertson. And White, Gabriel and Tina were almost defending as a 3. Now, I think what they did, I need to watch it back. But basically, they just worked the space well, and they preoccupied the defenders, and Jota's through on goal. But I still think in that moment, he's at quite an angle still. So the reason he's gone for the near post. Because actually, if he's going to hit the target, it's probably the only place he can go. I think percentages would tell you, and I know football's not playing on percentages, before everyone calls me a stats merchant. Percentages would tell you that actually you probably want Jota to hit that shot there, because Ramsdale will normally deal with it rather than him put it across goal or go for far corner. It's just a real shame Ramsdale didn't, and he's been terrific for us all season. His distribution I thought was great today, but that was a bad moment for him.
That wasn't a great moment. But like I said, we're not going to try and go after him too much, because he has been outstanding this season. and he's been one of the reasons why we are where we are at the moment. That being said, he should have stopped it. Maybe we could have done better in preventing Jota from getting the shot in the first place. But listen, man, you're up against quality opposition, and you're not going to keep Liverpool out completely for 90 minutes, are you?
No.
I mean, you can't go swimming and not get wet. So it is what it is. I think Liverpool being clinical in front of goal was probably the difference today between the two teams, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because we did have a few opportunities, and like I said already, the stats of the game will suggest that it's a fairly even game in terms of chances created and stuff like that. But in that final analysis there, the stat that really counts is where they were superior to us.
Andy Arsenal says, this performance has brought us down to earth. We have to win against Villa. If we don't, we're going to fall down the table. United
With
and Spurs
respect, I think
are
that's
close.
slightly negative.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Listen, it's not.
I predicted a defeat.
Right. I predicted a draw.
I had these kind of happy butterflies thinking we might nick a draw here. On the balance of play, we could easily have, but we didn't. And and that's ultimately what matters. See if we've got any other super chats come in. No, not at the moment. Fuller mentions the Odegaard miss. Just before we go to some more clips, I do think we should talk about that because
I'm not sure if it's a miss. He could have done better.
Sure. Yeah,
I think that we have to.
Odegaard's chance.
Yeah, it was a chance. It was a decent chance that perhaps he could have done better. To say it was a miss implies that it's something that he should easily have scored, and it wasn't easy.
I think people. For me, the moment breaks down, and I love Lacazette, and I know you're going to think I'm being harsh. I think it breaks down when Lacazette isn't able to really take it around Alisson and get a shot off. He goes round, but he's kind of immediately having to come back. Now, people say Odegaard should either take it at first time or hit the target and at least got past Alisson. But trust me, like when you're in that situation and everyone's flooded onto the goal line and you're thinking the keeper's out position, I think people naturally think, well, the goalkeeper's out the way, so it's an open goal. It's not. There's three players on the line. You've actually got to pick a spot, and you've got to hit it well. And I think he probably did, but then Alisson gets an arm to it. I think that's one of those where it broke down the minute Lacazette couldn't get around Alisson. And then at that point, it's try get a shot off, but realistically, they've got enough to deal with it. So it was a moment, it was an opportunity. Fair play to Arsenal and Lacazette for pouncing on that. But I think the better chances were when Gabriel Martinez got to the byline and tried to cut back, and we didn't really make the most of that. We'll go through some more stats in a bit as well and talk about Liverpool's second goal. We've got some more clips. Let's hear what you're saying.
But yeah, credit to Liverpool as well. They're a serious, well-drilled team, man. Jurgen Klopp's a world-class manager. Their whole first 11 and the strength and depth that they've got is world-class as well, man. And I wish them and Man City the best in this title race. Big up my boy Rash as well, Rashawn, Liverpool supporter. I said to him that I just didn't think Arsenal would get nothing from this game, but boy, this game, like I said in my previous video, isn't going to define our season. If we can beat Villa, we have to beat Villa because the gap's now 3 points between us and Tottenham and just a point within us and Man United now. So, and all three of us have one game a week now. Now Man United got knocked out last night. But Arsenal, let's not let this deflate us. We kick on from here. The games where we play Tottenham, Chelsea, West Ham and Man United will define our season. But I still think we can get top four. Big up Arsenal.
How's it, AFTV team? All the way from Pretoria, South Africa. Disappointed in the performance, got up on my seat a few times, the Martinelli chance at the end and that other chance with Alisson giving the ball away. I think it was Odegaard that could not get it past Alisson. Great keeper, but again, encouraged by the fight shown and the spirit of the fans, I think was so incredible. I mean, I'm here in South Africa, but I can hear the passion all around the world and in the stadium, going into those players. There's something different that's hitting Arsenal, that I haven't seen in 7-8 years. But it's encouraging signs. We have to keep backing this manager, keep backing this team. More additions in the summer, but we're on the up. Come on, the Arsenal. On to the next one. Let's get Villa.
What's up, guys? Javi from the US here.
I'm so disappointed with that. And it's weird because usually when we play against these sides, I'm embarrassed and furious, and now I'm disappointed because we should have gotten something out of it. So I don't know if that's progress or same old Arsenal. I don't know. It's mixed emotions. Listen, the difference today wasn't the fact that one team played better football than the other, because we actually played better than Liverpool. It's about one team capitalizing the mistakes of the other, and one didn't. And that's it. That's where the difference was. You can't make mistakes against Liverpool because they punish you. Ramsdale should not have gotten beaten first post, and Gabriel shouldn't have gotten caught in possession, and Odegaard should have put his chance away. And, it's a lot of, what ifs. And the reality is, guys, that they're the finished product. We're a work in progress. And it's a tough one to take. All we can do now is recognize that top 4 is in our hands. We got to dust ourselves off, keep our chins up, and go to Villa Park on Saturday, get all 3 points, and go on another winning run. And if we do that, if we just keep on going along, keep doing what we're doing, not let it phase us, we'll get top 4. So let's just keep it going.
AFTV, Alexander and Steven from Pennsylvania in the United States. Disappointing loss today, but still very proud of the boys. I'm just sad because it feels like we missed out on a very good effort by Martinelli there. Many good drives to the box and no one really attacking it. So 2 big mistakes and we give up 2 goals. So it shows that we still have a ways to go before we get to that peak level. But still a proud Gunner. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners.
Yeah, I agree with that. 2 big mistakes. I feel like we started the second half. We didn't start with the same energy. We weren't as firing. Because there were 2 balls over the top, inches away from being 2 goals already. And the big teams still kill you if you keep making those mistakes. And when we get our striker, hopefully that he can attack those balls that Martinelli was putting in, because he was putting Alexander-Arnold in a spin. He toasted him the whole game. But, it's disappointing, but we go again, and we still are on the hunt for top 4. So come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners. We still love you.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen to this quote from Arteta. From box to box, I thought we were maybe the better team, but unfortunately these games are won in the box. And I think that is a really good summary of actually the situation. I think he's got a point. I think you could make a case for Arsenal defending before the penalty area, build up to the penalty area, looking very competent tonight. But Liverpool have Matip and Van Dijk defending their penalty area, and then they've got Diaz, Mane, Salah, Firmino, Jota attacking our penalty area. And of course they've got quality. Thiago, what a pass. Fabinho, world-class defensive midfielder. But they've got those players who are incredibly decisive in both boxes.
That's right. That's what we talked to earlier about being clinical. And even the goals we conceded, individual errors that tonight Liverpool didn't make. When you're mixing at the top level, it's those moments that decide games invariably. When you go up against the better teams. And let's retain the air of positivity. We didn't play badly tonight.
No, absolutely not.
I would describe it as we got beaten by the better team. And even though we got beaten by a better team, it's not like they schooled us or they,
No.
They rolled us over, tickled us our belly and sent us on our way. It was nothing like that. Nothing like in previous games when we played them and we've been thoroughly beaten. Tonight wasn't the case. There was a few moments in the game that changed the course of the game. So I say that to say this. I'm disappointed, but again, I'm not deflated. The only slight concern I have about tonight is that, as you know, James, football is a momentum sport. And, you can find yourself riding the crest of a wave, and then all of a sudden you've lost one game. And then, if we go a goal down early against Villa, you never know how some of the players might react, especially some of the young players. So it's important that we maintain our composure, keep our confidence levels high, take it for what it is, a loss against the best team in the country on current form, one of the best teams in Europe and across the world, and go again on Saturday. There's still all to pay for.
And the
because
Arsenal...
I want to reiterate, losing this game tonight, even before the game started, I said it to you, didn't I, upstairs, that if we lost the game tonight, it's not going to determine the top 4 place. You know what I mean? So we need to retain the air of positivity.
Andy Arsenal says need to replace Lacazette and Xhaka. If Arsenal don't replace them and be ruthless, then good players like Martinelli and Saka will leave. Come on, you Gunners.
I thought Xhaka had a good game.
I thought
today,
Xhaka did have a good game. I'm completely with you. I thought he had a very good game. AT Football says small differences between us and them. Title winning experience in Firmino, world class movement versus Martinelli pulling the ball back multiple times to static players in the box. Heads up, gap is closing. Tino says Arsenal show character. Even top teams lose at home. E.g. City lost to Spurs, Palace. It's a very good point, actually. It's how you bounce back. It's second place Liverpool we played. Very, very good point. I mean, even the very best, like City, can draw at Palace, can lose at home to Palace, can lose at home to Spurs. When players are clinical, sometimes you just think we just missed our opportunities.
Well, listen, before this game, we were in pole position for the 4th place, yeah? Losing tonight, we're still in the pole position for that 4th place. Yeah. So, like I said, let's not get too down on ourselves. We were beaten by the better team. We have to acknowledge that. We have to humble ourselves and say that. But at the same time, there's loads to play for, and we're still in it.
Literally back-to-back comments. Rai says, Xhaka had a very good game. Are you blind? And then Subtle Gray says, Xhaka had a fantastic game. Credit where credit's due. Listen, I'm in between. I thought he was good. I thought he was good today. I thought he kept things moving.
I thought Partey was good as well.
I think he was finding Martinelli frequently. I thought Partey was superb. Yeah. We're going to get on to the more positive performances.
Listen, what were the key moments of the game? That was where the game was won and lost.
Well, this is why I want to talk about that second goal. I said at half-time, and I was saying it with a little bit of, I don't want to criticise his 0-0 playing quite well, but I felt Saka was having a real off game today.
Yeah,
I was watching him thinking, he's not beating his man. That's fine, because they're very good defenders. But then the pass inside isn't right. I didn't feel he was looking after the ball as well as he normally does. I don't feel he was playing. What he did really well, he was getting in behind often. But then when he did, there was something lacking after. Yeah. And then I think what was not his best performance kind of showed, unfortunately, in that second goal. He basically just tries to sort of lump it down the field, but he kicks it into Robertson. You've got to put that into touch and just go again and let the team reset, especially when not long before you've gone 1-0 down and the team hadn't really settled. Rams had a moment where he kicked it to Firmino and had to catch the ball. You can see Arsenal on the ropes a little bit, and maybe that was just inexperience showing itself.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit. But then, as we said, with that second goal there, it wasn't just Saka, because me and you counted 3 Arsenal defenders in and around Firmino, and he still found a space and time to slot the ball in. So, it's a team game at the end of the day. Yes, Saka was...
It's not great from White and Gabriel, is it? White, Gabriel, Ramsdale. It's almost like you got Ramsdale here, you got White and Gabriel, and Firmino's getting in that middle of that triangle. So people will have a go at White. I understand why White isn't all the way across to block the cross, because otherwise could be a cutback. So there's a certain area he's got to defend, and there's a certain area Ramsdale's got to defend. I look more at Gabriel. Get in front of Firmino, because you can see the run he's making. That wasn't great.
Someone out of those 3 should have closed him down a lot quicker. It didn't happen, and he scored. So, you got to put that down to a defensive error. However, but then, like I said, at the other end, we weren't clinical enough. So I'm not just going to turn around and blame the defenders.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's a team game, and, we have to acknowledge that errors were made. And we also have to say that up front, I would stop short of saying we were toothless, but we really didn't look like scoring today, did we?
I thought there were moments, not look like scoring necessary, but you say that, I thought there were a few cutbacks and moments and times where we nicked the ball off them. Lacazette getting onto that Thiago pass. Yes, it's a Thiago error, but it comes from a good press, good positioning. Martinelli beating Trent 2, maybe 3 times, looking for the cutback. I thought there were moments where a little bit of quality. The cutback to Xhaka where he whips it in the box, and there were moments where I was thinking, XG. It measures the quality of shot you had. What it doesn't measure is the areas and positions you get into where you should have exploited their openings better. And I thought there were a few. Okay, look at Martinelli. I know we were 2-0 down as the 88th minute, but Xhaka plays in through and Martinelli just caresses it around the post. There were moments where I thought we deserved a goal, but we were lacking something.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't clinical enough is the best way to describe it, I think. And like I said, if you look at the stats in terms of possession, passing accuracy, shots on goal, shots on target, it's very, very close. Like I said, but that the main stat, which is the goals, is what counts ultimately. And today we weren't able to score, and they did.
I've just looked at the take-on numbers. Thomas Partey completed 4 out of his 4 attempted take-ons. Gabriel 3 of his 3. I thought there was one thing Arsenal did do very well and were very brave with today, was trying to take the game to Liverpool in terms of not just panicking with the ball, but going, I can beat you here, driving past them, playing passes into spaces where Liverpool typically love to go and win it, but doing well to retain it and play some good football. There were things to like. Partey, Martinelli, from Arsenal's perspective, because I'm sure a Liverpool player gets the overall man of the match. From an Arsenal perspective, who's your man of the match?
Well, you'd have to say Martinelli was the best player for us today.
It's Thomas Partey for me, but I'm more than happy for
I would say
Martinelli.
that Thomas Partey's worth an honourable mention.
Yeah.
But I would say Martinelli because he's up against Trent.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, man, he was getting the better of Trent today when they went one-on-one.
Yeah,
and that was very impressive.
That was.
But yeah, Partey also had a good game.
JDTV says, in the 2019-2020 season, our best impact against Liverpool was when Torreira scored in injury time after coming on during a 3-1 away loss, and a 2-1 home win. Man of the match was Reece Nelson. But you know what's funny? I remember watching that Project Restart, lockdown, watching Arsenal beat Liverpool 2-1. And in that game, and the subsequent game against City after, we won both those games. This Arsenal side has just lost to both those teams at home. But I feel much better about the future of this team than I did that team, even though they won both those games where we were playing the back three. We had 2 chances, scored 2 goals basically in both games, where we were really sitting back, protecting our box, grinding out the win. In these games, I understand and I can see where another quality central midfielder, another quality striker, Saka, Martinelli a year older, and actually you cause them a lot more problems. I can see where that team can play that style of football, progressive, attacking, pressing, and cause them problems in the future.
Yeah, just a slight concern for me about in attack where the goals are going to come from, because, you know,
I think Martinelli will add more. I think Saka will add more. I think they'll get closer to goal.
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
I
honestly,
guess what.
I think
I'm trying not to go in on
yeah.
Lacazette, man, because I acknowledge what he brings to the team.
Absolutely.
But I would have to say, if I'm being honest, that in terms of being a natural goal scorer, he's not what you would, describe as
No,
that.
He's not. I think we've known
we're going to
that
have
for a while.
we're going to have to share the goals around the team now. Up until today, we'd been doing that, and it was working out. But there is that slight concern, isn't there?
Yeah, no,
and that's why a number of people were tipping Man United for that 4th spot, myself included, previously, because I just felt that Man United had that extra bit of quality up front with the likes of Ronaldo, Cavani, and 1 or 2 others who are going to get you goals. Jadon Sancho, Rashford when he's on form. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They just had that little extra bit, I thought. But listen, man, we're still in pole position for that 4th spot. We've still got games in hand, although I know we got to win them. And like I said, probably the worst thing about losing today is the momentum shift. We go into that game against Villa now knowing that we have to beat them.
True.
Or at least not lose.
Well, very true. Andy Arsenal says, I'm not saying if Lacazette or Xhaka had a good game, I said they need to be replaced, otherwise good players will leave. It's not hard to understand. Andy, yeah, fair enough.
I think he's overstating.
Thank you for your super chat.
We know.
We're going to go through more of your clips. I'm just going to leave you with a little bombshell from Mikel Arteta. His quote, he said, well, it's not really a bombshell. I was being a bit dramatic. But he has said, thank you so much for the Premier League. They have done that and then done it again before we play Chelsea and United. Thank you very much for the Premier League. It's not fair. That was his reaction when being asked to the fact that we're playing Villa in a lunchtime early kickoff on Saturday.
It's a bit soon, isn't it, really?
Well, I'll say one thing. Klopp's complained about this a lot over the years. Is it ideal? Probably not. Could someone else have played that game and Arsenal get? But what I would say is, it's a couple hours make much difference if we play on at 5:30 or whatever. If we want Champions League nights and we want we want that next season. Strap in. It'll be Bayern Munich. It'll be maybe Barcelona. It'll be Real Madrid. It'll be PSG. Hell, it'll even be the Dortmunds of this world coming here, giving us a really tough game on a Wednesday night. Then you're straight back in the Premier League. So
I guess the thing to
get
say
used to it,
right?
Mikel. You know, that's all I'm saying.
And I guess the thing to say with that is, the obvious thing to say is, had we have won today, I don't think you would have heard him say that. I mean, so,
I don't think he would have, and I think you got to be careful, right? Because Arsenal are. There's a lot of praise for Arsenal tonight in the commentary box from Gary Neville about Arsenal's performance, and I think even rival fans think we'll look at that game if they really watch it and go, they lost, which we're happy about, but they looked all right. You know, there's a clearly good team there. You don't want to. Not that we're here to. You know, we don't care what rivals think, but there's a point to which you don't want to. We've played like once a week all season, you know, because we've not been very good. We didn't have European football. We got knocked out of the FA Cup so early. So I don't think fixture scheduling is something Arsenal need to worry about. No. But that's
I'll tell you something else as well. Why I think that maybe that comment was slightly ill-advised, and see if you agree with me. I think the manager now, especially when we've lost the game, we're disappointed. You've got to be very careful the way you gauge this. Because if you introduce any negativity and give those players an excuse, then come Saturday, if things don't go our way, you know what I mean? It's really and truly, you don't really want to hear negative speak from the manager, even though he may be tempted to in the aftermath of a disappointing home defeat. I would still say, I would caution him against introducing any negativity. Let's keep the vibes positive.
That is absolutely.
Let's err on the side of, listen, man, we were beaten by one of the best teams in the world tonight, and we were not embarrassed. There's no shame in it.
We were competitive. We were very competitive.
It was a close, competitive game. They beat us in the key moments. We'll learn from this. We'll be a better team for this in the long run. We will go to Villa. We will go there with energy, with positivity, and we will go for a win. When you start talking about, you know, the way the games are scheduled, doesn't give us enough time to recover, you're introducing that air of negativity. You're giving the players
a little
outlet
agree.
For an excuse there should things not go our way come Saturday.
I shouldn't bite at comments like these. We're going to listen to some more clips that you guys have been sending in, but I'm going to respond to this comment. You lot are happy to lose, LMFAO. Listen, I'm just going to say.
Was that an Arsenal fan?
I've got no idea. All I'm going to say is
he's not been listening. To
a lot of people said the same thing after City. Oh, you're happy. You're praising defeat. If you can see a performance and you can see a style of play and a philosophy and an effort, you might lose that game, but then you win the other 9 and 11, which is exactly what Arsenal did, because there was a level they got to. So if you can appreciate those things, and Arsenal, the players especially, can appreciate those things, and they can get to that level, we will. If we play like we did today, we beat Villa. Simple as that. If we play when we beat Palace, and then we beat Brighton at home, and whoever else we've got, we play like that. We beat United at home. So that's why we're praising a certain level of performance and an effort and application. But I think we've more than gone into what Arsenal have lacked today. So that's all I will say.
Who was it you sent that in?
I've scrolled straight past.
Right, okay, so I don't know how you can transmute disappointed and deflated into saying I'm happy about being defeated. I said I'm disappointed, but I'm not deflated. Now, come on now. You know what I mean?
No,
it's not hard to understand what I'm trying to say here. I think you're trolling, man.
Emerson says, hey guys, thanks so much for all the entertainment. It was amazing to have my video up with you guys speaking. Thanks for everything. And Arteta in. Emerson, thank you for sending your video in. Right, guys, we've got more videos coming in. Let's see what we have to say.
Arsenal. African soldier from Kansas, USA. What a game. Disappointed, but we move on to the next game and then pick up from where we start. It shows that when you're playing the game on top, that is a game of chances. You cannot make any mistake against the top teams. You're going to lose. We did that and we paid. It's also evident that we need a striker that is very fast. We can read the play. Martinelli had a lot of balls, but like I said, was too far off the box. So before he gets there, Liverpool has already recovered. I hope we can move on to the next game, win against Villa. Sometimes Arteta should make changes early. Liverpool made a change early. African soldier out.
Yeah, big up AFTV. Namdi here from the UK. Not a good game for me because, you know, oftentimes Arsenal falls apart when we play Liverpool. You know, and it's not really, really, really nice to see that. You could see that even Ramsdale, who's been top notch, wasn't even up to the game. I think it's just something to do with how Liverpool plays us. It's like they try to bully us around, and I don't like that. You know, but that said, big up to the boys. They did well. They tried. Martinelli should be the man of the match. Cedric was overwhelmed. I guess Saka wasn't tracking back so much, helping him. You know, but you know one thing is that top four is still within reach. So big up the boys, and we move to the next one. Cheers, guys.
Arsenal, AFTV, big up from the USA. Marcos here. And what a heartbreaking match. I was so excited to see this game, and our side didn't disappoint terribly. We were working so hard for so little. We could have had, there was a few chances that we had that could have tipped the scales on this game. Let's be honest. We had an open goal, and somehow Alisson Becker gets a hand on it. Martinelli just puts it inches past the post. For me, football's like that. We know that. Cards fell to Liverpool today. You could be Man City and look what happened. It doesn't matter the quality of what you played last week, but who's better on the day, and sometimes luck has a portion, it has a part to play. So I'm not super disappointed. Yes, a loss is a loss, and it's frustrating because I want to whoop Liverpool's behind. I want this club to be at the top, winning premierships, being in Champions League. We got so much hope for these kids. And look at these youngsters. Give it up for Martinelli working his socks off at the 92nd minute. By far man of the match. Kids going far in this club. We just got to give them room to run. We love you, Arsenal. We do. That's it for me. I won't take up any more time. Love you guys. God bless you. God bless this club. We love you, Arsenal.
Hello, AFTV. This is Masood here from London. Gutted to lose the game, man. I don't know how. If you look at the game, they didn't create lots of opportunities. You know, those apart from those two goals, probably the first second minute save. That's it. But we reduced them to minimum chances. But the big difference is second half when Odegaard didn't take the chance. You know, we shouldn't blame him, but this is the difference when. In these type of big matches, when the chance arrives, we need to take it. Otherwise, we give them a game, we fight. There was organization, determination. I see the little bit of like a plan, what we're trying to do. But there's extra bit of quality, extra bit of magic or finishing. So that's what we're lacking. But we need to move on. Top 4 is still in our hand. What we can do is bounce back and beat Villa, and that's it. We are back on track. We should not let this game our head down. It's well played, good game, but they are one of the top team, not in a Premier League in the Europe and probably in the world. So we have to accept it. They are a better team on. Thank you.
Guys, always good to hear what you guys are saying. Gooners around the world, love it. You guys sending in your videos. You guys reacting.
Big up to all those people.
No, it's class. It's absolute class. You're all around the world, up at different times, doing different things, compromising different things in your life. So watch Arsenal, support the team. I love it. And then to come here to the channel, send us your thoughts and support us as well. Obviously means a lot. So a big thank you to you guys. We're going to end the show now by just looking a little bit ahead to that Villa game. I read Arteta's quotes. We've discussed that. But I think the big question is, What do Arsenal need to get from this weekend? Easiest thing to say is a bounce back, a win, 3 points on the board. But Villa are a good side. Villa are a good side. It's another tricky away game. Who did we beat recently away from? Watford. You know, they're a different level to Watford.
Yeah, they are. They're good.
My only hope is I think they'll take the game to us. I think they'll want to press and play, and I think that suits us more. But what's your kind of feelings ahead of the game? What do Arsenal need to do?
Win.
There you go. Unbelievable analysis.
No, it's a must-win game, really. And like I was saying earlier, that was coming out of tonight. It's lost. The major disappointment is that now we are under a bit of pressure to get back on the winning track. And going to Villa is not going to be easy. I think they're 3-2 in their last 5 games. They've won 3 and lost 2. But they do have some very decent players.
Some real talent. Buendia, Coutinho, they can put one in the top corner out of nowhere.
Ramsey, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, Jacob Ramsey could play.
I mean, a certain goalie that we're familiar with as well. So I'm really looking forward to that game, actually.
You're right. Actually,
and this will tell us a lot about the team because we've been on a decent run. You know, we've lost tonight, so we've hit a bump in the road. How do we recover from this? And this is what I was saying earlier, that I don't want to err on negativity. I don't want to hear the manager talk about scheduling of matches and blah, blah, blah. I want us to go there focused, determined, positive, and try and get that win.
I mentioned in my fan cam, the position we're in is because what we've been doing against the teams below us. Winning the games, beating Leicester home and away, beating Wolves home and away. But those are 4 banana skins, and we got through all of them. 12 points, 12 out of 12. Villa will be another one of those. If Arsenal can win those games, then we've got Palace away, Southampton away is coming up, Brighton at home. We'll be fine. Spurs lost at home to Wolves, at home to Southampton, beat City away, then lost to Burnley. You know, Man United, they beat Spurs at home, they beat Arsenal at home, but they lost to Wolves at home and they drew to Southampton at home. For me, the other two have shown far patchier form. Whereas with Arsenal, you can like, we're 4th because the results dictate we're 4th. Well, we lose to the 3 above us.
Yeah.
And we beat the ones below us.
That's right.
Not always, but more often than not have. So I really want the boys to brush it off, acknowledge Villa are a good side, but they're sitting comfortably in the table. They're not worried about what's going on below them. They don't have particularly high aspirations of
that's what I was going to say.
Maybe top 7 European football.
A real banana skin potentially.
It's a banana skin, but we're playing a team that aren't gonna. It's not like Burnley away, where it's like they're fighting for every point, or Newcastle, whatever. No, that's not me writing on Villa. I think they're a very good side. Turkish in the building, big up. I'm going to the game with him. I'm nervous. It could be a tricky place to go. Villa Park, good player. Steven Gerrard, I think's proven a good coach. All those things, but I just think it's a good, not a good game for Arsenal. I think it's a welcomed level of opposition in terms of they're going to be good. We've got to be focused, but they might play into our hands if they try and press us and take the game to us. And I think a win there would be a really good response for Arsenal before the international break. We then won't play for about, I think, 16 days. So to sit on a Villa win away from home, that could be really good for the team. So I think it's not a welcome fixture. I'd rather be playing Norwich at home, but hopefully it's one that if we win can sort of reignite that, you know, that
but
hunt for top
you made
4.
a very good point earlier, and it was one that I was going to bring up as well, is that for many reasons this could be more difficult than playing one of the teams that are in trouble or fighting for points, for the simple reason being there's no pressure on Villa.
Sure.
Yeah? They will see this go, like you said, they're not going to go down, they're not going to get into Europe, they're out of, you know, cup competitions and so forth, so they're looking at these games now as like what I call showcase games. So there's no pressure on them, they're at home, so I'm sure the manager will invoke the spirit of being positive. He'll say, get on the ball, play, let's go at them, you know what I mean, let's try and entertain the crowd and score some goals. So that in itself makes them dangerous because they're kind of in that nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And when you got nothing to lose, and you know what I mean, you're at home and you got the fact, because it'll be a full house, be a raucous atmosphere, I would have thought, even though it's an early game. In those type of conditions, some of those players that we just mentioned, they will thrive in that type of atmosphere, you know. So I can see it being a very difficult game, but it's definitely one that we can win.
Bayano says, gutted over the result, but we move on. Big up AFTV for what you guys do. Thank you very much, Bayano. Getting the fans to the games. Much love from Ireland. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then Amit says, I'm not an Arsenal fan, or I'm not a fan or Arteta. Sorry. I'm not a fan of Arteta complaining about 3 fixtures close to each other in the presser just now. We're going to get exactly this in the Champions League next season. If we get there, we absolutely are. So, yeah, very good point. Couple more bits from Arteta coming from Charles Watts. Arteta, I don't think the result properly reflects the performance of the team. The way the boys performed showed their courage to play the way we wanted. They really raised their level, but unfortunately games are won in the boxes, and that was the critical difference today. Absolutely agree. I think we'll leave it at that, Laurie. Thanks so much for joining.
Okay.
Thanks to everyone who sent in their videos as well. Arsenal, what did you call it? Disappointed but not deflated?
Yeah, that's what I said at the start of the show, and I maintain that. I'm disappointed, but I'm not deflated because it's still in our control. And yes, I mean, let's be honest, man. Ourselves, Tottenham, West Ham, Man United, we are going to drop points.
Absolutely.
Now and the end of the season. Even going forward, all 4 of those teams I just mentioned will drop points. So it's important that we don't get too down on ourselves today. One, because we were playing an elite team, let's be honest. And secondly, because, you know, things are going to happen. It's important now that we be positive, go into this game, rest up, do the right things, rest and recuperation, and focus, go into that game on Saturday with the right attitude. And I'm confident we can get the 3 points.
Absolutely agree. Thanks to everyone who sent in their videos. Thanks to all of you who have joined us, sent in your comments as well. Smash a like on this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel so you can get updates on all our reaction. A tactical insight will be coming out on this game. I'll be doing that myself, as well as all the fan cams and thoughts from the Emirates Stadium and here in the studio. I want to say big up to Gabriel Martinelli, Thomas Partey, who I thought was superb on the night and really didn't deserve to be on the losing team. But the whole team I thought gave good account of themselves and a good effort. We go again, but I think we've been kind and rightly kind. Need a response against Villa. This side have shown how to respond all season to disappointment, bad results here and there or whatever. Go do it again. They've shown character. Keep showing it. Come on, Arsenal. Well done. I say well done. Well done on the effort. Shame about the result in the end. We go again.